All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most vivid and, let's be honest, debated sections of the entire Bible, Revelation, chapters 4 through 7. We're going to explore this wild vision of thrones, creatures, and scrolls, and we're going to see how Christ's ascension into heaven kicks off something that looks a lot like a dramatic court case.
So I want you to consider this question. What if you reread these chapters not as a chaotic mess of future predictions, but as a highly structured legal proceeding? When you see it through that lens, everything changes. Suddenly, the visions of thrones, scrolls, and horsemen snap into place. You've got a judge, you've got an indictment, an advocate, and key witnesses. It becomes a story that makes sense.
So our story begins in chapter 4, and it doesn't start with chaos or destruction. No, it starts with order, extreme order. The Apostle John is, as he puts it, in the Spirit, and he gets to see the ultimate reality, the heavenly temple, which is kind of like the control room for the entire universe. And a major legal case is about to begin.
And look at this courtroom setup. It is so deliberate. You have God the Father on the main throne, the judge. Surrounding him are 24 other thrones with 24 elders or archangels, which actually mirrors the 24 divisions of priests from the earthly temple. And then you have these 4 living creatures representing all of creation, leading this constant organized worship. The message is crystal clear. This is a formal court, and the judge is on his throne, ready to begin.
Okay, the court is in session, and now the central piece of evidence is brought forward. But it's not a person, it's a book. A huge scroll, actually, held in the right hand of God himself. It's written on the front and on the back, and it is sealed shut with 7 seals. This is a big deal.
So what's in this scroll? Well, think of it as a divine indictment. It contains generations upon generations of accumulated judgments against unfaithful people. It's the official record of every injustice, all the way from the blood of Abel right up to the martyrs of the first century. The case is ready, the evidence is all there, but the indictment, it remains sealed.
And right here, the whole process grinds to a halt. A mighty angel booms out the question, who is worthy to open the scroll? And the answer? No one. No one in heaven, no one on earth, no one under the earth. Nobody can do it. The entire plan of God, the execution of justice, just stops. All of creation is just waiting in this deafening silence because there's no one qualified to open the book and carry out its judgment.
But just when it seems like all is lost, the tension completely breaks. The hero of this whole cosmic drama is finally introduced. And you might expect a conquering king or some mighty warrior, right? But instead, what John sees is a lamb, and it looks as though it had been slain. This is the absolute turning point of the whole vision. See, the first Adam failed. He plunged all of creation into sin and death. But now right here, a second Adam, a new representative for all of humanity, steps forward. And his appearance changes absolutely everything.
So, what makes this lamb qualified? It's so powerful. He is found worthy not in spite of his sacrifice, but because of it. That is what gives him the exclusive right to take the book of judgment. The very act of taking the scroll symbolizes his ascension, his enthronement. And the second he takes it, heaven just erupts in a brand new song. The worship actually shifts from spoken word to music. The trial can finally proceed.
Now we get to it. As the Lamb starts breaking those 7 seals one by one, the judgments that have been held back for centuries are finally unleashed. And the breaking of the first 4 seals, well, that releases the famous 4 Horsemen.
Now here's a really fascinating interpretation. What if these aren't demonic forces at all? What if instead, all 4 of these riders represent different aspects of Christ's own work carried out into the world by the church? The white horse is the gospel conquering. The red horse? Well, the gospel also brings division. The black horse shows a famine hitting the old order while the new gifts of the covenant are protected. It's this multifaceted judgment, and it's all flowing from the work of Christ.
But hold on, before the final judgments really get going, the whole proceeding just pauses. It's just like in the vision of the prophet Ezekiel. A command goes out. Before the destruction truly begins, the key witnesses, the faithful remnant who have sided with God in this case, they have to be identified and protected first.
And this is where we run into one of Revelation's most famous and maybe most misunderstood numbers. An angel appears and basically yells, "Hold it! Don't do anything until we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads." And the number of those who are sealed, 144,000.
So this obviously brings up a huge question. Is this the exact, literal number of people who will be saved throughout all of history? A literal head count? Well, the source material gives us a pretty direct answer.
And this is a key rule for reading this book. It's written in symbols. The number 144,000 is not a literal head count. It's symbolic of perfection and completeness. It's formed by taking 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. It represents the entirety of the faithful Jewish remnant, which is the Apostolic Church, who are being protected through this coming judgment on Old Covenant Jerusalem.
So when you put all of these pieces together, what do you get? It's not a random series of bizarre visions. It's a coherent, powerful legal drama. We see the court convene, the indictment presented, the worthy advocate stepping up to take the case, the first judgments being issued, and the key witnesses being sealed for their own protection.
And that is the question that leaves us right on the edge of our seats. The preliminary motions are all complete. The stage is totally set for the main event. What happens when the rest of those seals are broken and the trumpets finally begin to sound? Well, that is where the rest of the book of Revelation is about to take us.